So, what is the one job I would recommend to anyone looking to get into the clinical research field to get? What is my favorite entry level clinical research job? Coming up right after the intro. Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another episode. Today we're going to be talking about what is my favorite entry level clinical research job. My favorite entry level clinical research job. Well, before we get into that, I'm going to first let you guys know, before you guys can even get an entry level job in clinical research, it has become more and more difficult to do that. Don't wait. Do not wait. Go ahead and enter our resume review program. A lot of people have been hesitant to enter the program. I've done a couple videos on this before of how it exactly works. You can go back and look for them. I did study coordinator with a gap. I went through that person's resume, and I've done another resume. You can actually look in the playlist section. I've got a couple ones there, and you can see how the process is done. And then you can see how I do it. You can take some of those tips, do it yourself, or if you do not want to do it yourself, I can do it for you. Some things may have changed since those videos. Some of the best practices may have changed from those videos. So that is another reason why you'd want to email me at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com, and I will boost your resume for you. I will take it to the next level and increase your chances of getting in the clinical research industry. Do not wait, guys. Every minute, every month that goes by, your chances are getting harder and harder to get into the clinical research industry because it's getting more and more competitive. So email me, eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com, if you're interested in that. So you're interested in getting into clinical research, but what position should you be applying for? Is it clinical trial assistant? Is it study coordinator? Is it project assistant? Is it project manager assistant? There are so many positions out here in clinical research, and there are a bunch that I haven't even named or even gone over before, just because, you can't go over all of them. But what is my favorite one? What is my favorite entry-level clinical research job? And of course, this depends on what you want. What are your goals? You've got to think, what are my goals? What do I want to do in clinical research? Where am I trying to go in clinical research? But if you don't know, or if you are just trying to make a lot of money, or you just want a great lifestyle, or you want to, kind of learn about a lot of different things and then make your decision, or you just don't really care, quite frankly. You just know you want to be in the field. My favorite clinical research job is the in-house CRA. My favorite entry-level clinical research job is the in-house CRA. Now, why is that? Well, for one, it used to not be an entry-level job. It's becoming more entry-level now. So there's gonna be some status there. So that's number one. You're gonna have a little status because it's not an entry-level job, but it's becoming more an entry-level job with risk-based monitoring, with remote monitoring. It is becoming more of an entry-level job and something that you can get without much experience. Some may want you to have experience, and this is a job that people have for years. They got senior in-house CRAs, and actually, what they do is a lot of CRAs who are tired of being on the road will actually come and become in-house CRAs. They'll put them in as a senior in-house CRA. They'll work remotely and do kind of the same thing as before, but just do it remotely. So that's how the in-house CRAs used to be, because they used to want someone who is well seasoned to be able to do the in-house CRA tasks. But now they're realizing that lower level people can do it, and people with a little bit less experience can do that role too. And you don't necessarily need someone with all that experience. So CRAs are doing other things. They're going to be project managers. They're going to be clinical trial leads, whatever. But another reason why I love the in-house CRA role is it's easy to get to CRA from there. That's an easy jump. That's an easy transition. And for me, CRA is the best role in the business. I don't think there is a better clinical research position. In fact, I think it's the best job in America. And I'm going to do a video on that, on why it's the best job in America. But I think it is easy to get to CRA. It's probably the easiest to get to CRA. Sometimes tied with study coordinator. I'd say in-house CRA is 1A, study coordinator is 1B when it comes to being a CRA. But definitely, I mean, there are pros and cons to either being an in-house CRA or study coordinator. But I think in-house CRA, because it's so close to CRA, makes it very, very attractive for a lot of people. Third reason is you're not going to be doing too many administrative tasks. You're not going to be doing any of those meeting minutes tasks. You're typically not going to be, creating the TMF and, being responsible for filing everyone's documents in the TMF. Usually, all right. This is different at every company, but typically you're not going to be responsible for that. Now, the in-house CRA position may change because it is in-house. So typically there's more changes that go along with that. You're not on the road, so you don't get any of those benefits. You don't get any of that clout either. But in-house CRA, in-house, there could be some changes there. But yeah, so those are three things I really like about in-house CRA. Another thing that is good is the pay is usually good. But with it becoming a less and less experienced position, the pay is probably going to creep down a little bit over the years, into 2019, into 2020, into 2021. The pay is likely going to creep down a little bit, but that's okay. It's still a great position to get your foot in the door of clinical research. Another reason why it's great is really the strongest reason is because I think you can get to CRA pretty easily from that position. But another reason why it's great is you get to interact with the sites. You get to feel like you're actually doing something. You get to feel like, you're not just doing administrative tasks. You're there for a reason. You get to build a rapport with the sites. And that's an important job. That's one thing that sponsors and CROs hold very, very dearly is those relationships and overall relationship building. So that is very, very important. And you get to have that as an in-house CRA. So those are my main reasons why it's the best. Also, it can be done remotely. That is a job that can be done remotely. Now, they're probably not going to let you do that job remotely when you're first getting started, but eventually you'll be able to be, whether it's a couple days work from home, you'll be able to be fully remote eventually. Depending on the company, it may just depend, and depending on your manager for sure also. But there are people that are able to do that job 100% remotely. So if you are a mom, if you've got a family, or for whatever reason, you may want to be a remote worker, that's a job where it can be done. It can be done. And usually pretty lenient there with work from home and everything. So they do have those opportunities for you if you want them. So those are all the reasons why I would say that in-house CRA is one of the best entry-level positions. And that's one position that I did, so I know from experience-wise pretty good. That wasn't my first position in clinical research. That was actually my second. I became an in-house CRA early on, and I really enjoyed it, and I felt like it definitely helped me get to the CRA route. A lot of people ask me all the time, how do you become a CRA? Well, I think that is the best position for you to become a CRA because you're in the CRO or pharma company already, and that's just the logical next step for you to become a CRA. The in-house CRA position is just the logical next step. And you're going to have a good foundation, a good basis to become a CRA. So if that's something that interests you, then this is for sure the best position. But I feel like this is a good place to get in. On the clinical side, it's a great place to get in. You get to understand the protocol, read the protocol, and really get a great understanding of how clinical research is done through that protocol. And I think it's a great position, especially because a lot of times you got to kind of pay your dues in clinical research. I'm saying this is my favorite entry-level position. It's kind of not an entry-level position, but it can be done entry-level. It can be gotten with minimal experience. But I think that's one of the benefits of it is it can be gotten without that experience. So, you're gonna get really good experience in that entry-level position. In that in-house CRA position, and it's really gonna do wonders for your career. I promise you that. So as always, guys, email me eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com for any inquiries you may have. Comment down below, subscribe to the podcast. If we have done anything for you while listening to the podcast, you can donate right there if you listen on Anchor, if you're interested in that. And comment down below, guys. Subscribe. Take care.